Hello and welcome. Are you excited about the Academy Awards? There's a lot of controversy this year because all of the nominees are white. So I thought it would be fitting for today's Knowledge Nugget to be about the first African American to win an Academy Award. And that person is Hattie McDaniel. Hattie McDaniel won the Best Supporting Actress Oscar for her role as Mammy, the maid of Scarlett O'Hara in the all-time Hollywood classic Gone with the Wind. But did you know? Hattie McDaniel was not even allowed to attend the premiere in Atlanta, Georgia, because it was so racist at the time, and they had Jim Crow laws, not allowing black people to go practically anywhere. A side note was a 10-year-old Martin Luther King Jr. performed at the premiere of Gone with the Wind in the Ebenezer Baptist Church choir, dressed as a slave. That is a knowledge nugget within a knowledge nugget. Okay, back to Hattie McDaniel. Hattie McDaniel was nominated for Best Supporting Actress, and she was almost not allowed into the ceremony at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles because the Ambassador Hotel was racist and they didn't allow black people on their property unless they were working in the kitchen or were maids. It took powerful Hollywood movie executives begging the Ambassador Hotel at the last minute before they allowed her into the ceremony. Imagine, you've just given the greatest performance in your career, possibly in all of Hollywood film history, and some asshole racist white dicks at the door aren't going to let you into the building. So they finally let her into the building, and she's forced to sit at a tiny table in the back of the room. Hattie McDaniel wins the Oscar. Her acceptance speech was 67 seconds long, and she said, "I sincerely hope that I will always be a credit to my race and the motion picture industry." After the awards, Hattie McDaniel was not even allowed to attend the after parties. Imagine, you've just won the Oscar and you can't even go to parties afterwards. It's unbelievable to think of today in the world we live in, where pampered stars can do whatever they want and they're covered by TMZ wiping their ass or arriving at the airport. Here's this brilliant actress not allowed to go anywhere that she wants. Hattie McDaniel, after the success of Gone with the Wind, was typecast and played a maid or a cook in hundreds of movies, and she was highly criticized, most notably by the NAACP, who said that she perpetuated negative stereotypes. Hey, thanks NAACP. I'm sure Hattie would have much preferred to have starred in movies where she was a World War II flying ace, killing Nazis, or the owner of Rick's Cafe Americana in Casablanca, but these were the roles that she was offered. Hattie McDaniel said, "I would much prefer to make $700 playing a maid than to earn $7 a week being a maid." Hattie McDaniel faced racism all throughout her life. In 1945, she wanted to buy a house in an all-white neighborhood in Los Angeles, and she was denied. She started a class action suit that went all the way to the Supreme Court, and it was ruled unconstitutional for people to be denied owning property based on their race. So aside from Hattie McDaniel being the first African American to win an Academy Award, she also shattered the barrier of non-whites owning property wherever they want in the United States. That alone makes her a great American. But Hattie McDaniel experienced racism even in death. She died in 1952 of breast cancer, and in her will, she requested that she be buried in the Hollywood Cemetery among her fellow actors. Hollywood Cemetery denied her because they did not allow African Americans to be buried there. I have been to Hattie McDaniel's grave in Los Angeles, and it's in a forgotten cemetery with weeds growing everywhere. And I have been to the Hollywood Cemetery, and Dee Dee and Johnny Ramone are buried there, and neither one of those guys could play their fucking instruments. Life is unfair, and show business can be very unfair. Hattie McDaniel is buried at 1831 West Washington Boulevard under 3 very tall palm trees, in case you'd ever like to go there and leave flowers for this person who is a credit to the human race and all of show business. And if you go to her grave, keep an eye out for me, because I'll be there with a weed whacker cleaning up her grave and keeping it presentable for this wonderful, brilliant human being. And that is today's Knowledge Nugget. Shalom, amigos y amigas. I don't know nothing about birthing no babies.